Hello everyone, this is Kuroku Speaks with my third video. I know, my third video. I am a rebel. I am getting out there. That's how awesome I am. Yeah, no. Um, Today I am reviewing two OCs who were said to complete each other, and they're actually not from a fandom, which I find is actually pretty unique. I like the fact that I get to review an OC, well, technically two, that aren't part of a fandom. First off, to the creator, I did this earlier, and my father came home, so I had to keep pausing it and unpausing it, and it was really awkward, and it made me speed up, and I ended up making a real mess out of towards the end of the review, and it became sloppy, so I decided to redo it. Anyway, I was reading through this, and when I did, I understand that the creator does not is Indonesian, or at least that's what she put as her where she's from, Indonesia and stuff. And I just want to tell you, and this isn't meant to make you feel bad or make you, I'm not trying to sound mean, but if you write something for like a bio or a summary, you should go and have someone proofread it for you, because some of your grammar and stuff, it's kind of jumbled, and it doesn't make much sense, and it's pretty confusing, for me at least. And I just think that it would be a lot easier, and it would help you a lot if you had maybe someone help you by proofreading your work and stuff. Like, I think I need to start doing that, because I make a lot of those grammar errors, and I have to go in and I reread my stuff a lot before I post it, because I have an issue where I forget D's when I go to put and I'll have to put an, or I'll put an and put a D, so it'll be and I do that a lot lately. So I mean, little errors and stuff are normal. It's just some of your sentences are kind of fractured and don't make much sense. So for future reference, just try to find maybe someone who can help you kind of go through it, and maybe they can help you make it a little more level and understandable. Other than that, I'm gonna just get straight into stuff and go through all of this again. So, okay. The design, which will be, you'll be looking at them in the video, and I will put the links in the description as always. The designs of the characters, both, are really cool. I like them a lot. They're both really, unique, and they're cute. I really do. I do like the coloring and the schemes. The colors go well and everything. I like the little side thing where you have the little doodles and stuff. Like, it's good. You did good. You're a really good artist. I really love your art. All of your art is really pretty. Okay, let's get into Pokopion. And please forgive me if I mispronounce anything. I will go on as best I can. Okay, name. Poshkola Alabaster. Age 16. Height 170. Weight 65. Okay. I'm gonna address this right now. First off, for the name, you need to put in parentheses how to pronounce it. It's really helpful. It really is. And especially with the name, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, and that makes it really hard, because I feel really bad when I mispronounce names, because I mean, I know that, like, when people, like, a lot of, like, substitute teachers, when they mispronounce my name, it irritates me. So I mean, when you mispronounce the name, it makes you feel kind of bad. And not to mention that it's not an English name. It's like, I'm not sure if it's just a random made up name or if you got it from somewhere, but it's from where I'm from at least, I've never handled these kind of names. Our like longest names are usually like Thomas, so I mean, we don't handle extremely long names. So if you could just please put that in parentheses maybe when you do it again, or when you rewrite, or whatever you do for your next ref sheet and bio and stuff, just maybe put those extra details down. Age is good. However, height and weight, you need to specify, because 170 does not explain anything. Is he 170 centimeters? Is he 170 feet? I'm not understanding. And I mean, I know he's probably 170 centimeters, but it's a lot nicer to put it physically so that people can understand, because just putting 170, it doesn't make much sense. As for his weight, again, the same thing. You need to put like pounds or grams or whatever. And also, his weight is very, very unrealistic. For Pokopyon's, his body type, even in the images, he is not a 65-pound guy. He would be somewhere in the hundreds. This is because when you say 65, you don't picture a well-built, well, not well-built, but a thin, normal anime guy. You picture an anorexic. Because I'm sorry, but 65 is an unrealistic weight if it is in pounds. If it's not in pounds, okay, I'm not sure what you're referring to. So if it's not in pounds, I apologize, but you need to elaborate on that, because just 65, he sounds like he's not human, because you can't look this good and be 65 pounds. I'm 120 or 30 pounds, and I'm considered skinny enough. So, I mean, he can't be 65 pounds. Okay, on to his summary. This name, it's so hard to pronounce. Poshkola is the grandson of the maker of Aria. At the age of 10, he had found his grandfather's secret files that contains Aria, but was afraid to do anything about it, knowing his grandfather's love of tricks and lock mechanisms. At the age of 14, he wrong-guessed the file password and released the Aria virus worldwide. He is a laid-back person who is not very much well-known. This is deliberate, as he more than anything wishes not to attract many attention, and become someone unnoticed for the most part. Frequently disappears without no one knowing where he goes. He is actually quite fun person to be with, having a smart and humorous tongue, and rarely gets angry. He also likes to tease people and deliberately acts oblivious to things. He avoids social situations, and he had perfected the art of disappearing before anyone could ask him to do anything. Thus, he was free of the task of rejecting. If he really needs to do something, he'll most likely do it by himself. This is because he had seen too many of his family members suffer because they attract attentions by their skills. For example, his grandfather's death is still a mystery, though it's a family secret that he was killed because the organization wanted Aria and he would not give it away. His older brother, a very skilled programmer, was also abducted, and until now, Poshkola had almost never seen him again, as the organization forced him to work as a programmer, replacing his grandfather, whose work contract had not yet ended. This was a manipulation, of course, but he never admits this. So, although he actually has good looks and very smart, he chooses to gain average grades and hides behind a pair of glasses. Yes, his eyes are perfectly normal. No matter what he does, though, the blood programmer is in his veins. Programming is his secret obsession, and now... can't speak. I can't English. And he now accepts work via internet and with a web persona. I swear this is actually better than I did earlier. Oh, and he is a far relative of Evelyn, who shares her special eyes. It's a dull gray and normal, but it will turn red when he gets angry or emotional. Although Poshkola has gotten so much more control over his emotions in the past years, he still wears blue contact lenses to disguise himself further. And also, this rare eye syndrome lets the owner see sharper when red, but the more frequent the eyes become red, the eyes will lose its ability to see color. Even now, Pocopion is already red colorblind. The nickname Pocopion is the nickname from his childhood friend Aili. Aili? I want to say Aili. He hates the name, but Aili enjoys seeing him get irritated by it. Clothing style, hoodies, plus good for hiding. Okay. Brr, 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 brr. As I said, he seems like a very interesting OC. I think the storyline is indeed intriguing. However, you left so many questions. Like, who is the organization? What is the Arya? What is it? What does it do? Why is it so horrible? What's so horrible about it was when Poshkola was 14, was his grandfather already dead? Was he already dead when he was 10? I'm not understanding, because you mentioned that his grandfather was murdered, or they think he was murdered, but you don't explain if he was still around when the virus was released, or if he was killed. Let's see. You're not giving a lot of info, so it's kind of just scattered, because, I mean, one minute you're talking about his grandpa and this horrible virus, I guess, and then the next thing you're talking about is how he's laid back, and he likes to hide. And I mean, okay, I get that, but you need to kind of balance it all out more, because you just kind of randomly jump the gun at random times and change your subject, and that's really confusing. Okay, the eye thing. First of all, who's Evelyn? You need to elaborate on who his relatives are, if they're alive, if they're dead, where they live, where they lived. I mean, I don't understand any of this. Is Evelyn alive? Is she a main part of the story? Is she perhaps dead, and he later finds out he's a descendant from her bloodline? I mean, I don't know. There's no links to Evelyn. If she's a character, there's nothing here. On the subject of the eye syndrome, I do like the fact that while it enhances things, it also takes away. But I think the red color is a bit cliche and overdone. His eyes turning red is kind of going a bit far. The reason why I say that is because everyone does that. I mean, scary movie or scary story type characters, their eyes turn blood red when they get mad. Iron Man, the anime, the one girl was like partially possessed by robot demon thingies, and her eyes would turn red. I'm thinking of a character and I can't seem to get it out. There's a lot of characters. Vampires. Vampires is what I was thinking. A lot of times vampires' eyes will turn red when they need blood, or they're in bloodlust, or something like that. And it's a really cliche thing. And I'm not saying the changing eye colors, I mean, it's kind of cliche, but I mean, everything's cliche anymore. I mean, I have no room to talk. I have a crazy scientist villain, so I mean, But, maybe don't use red. Maybe use a different color. Maybe use, like, green, or, white, or, black. Maybe maybe his pupils dilate extremely wide instead. So like instead of his eyes turning a color, his pupils like dilate much wider than the normal humans so that he has sharper sight. But since it's so damaging to his eyes, that's partially what's taking away his color. I don't know. I'm literally just pitching ideas that just popped into my head. So I was like, well, why not? I don't have any use for random ideas that come to my brain. I feel like you should focus. Okay, hold on. Okay, well, first of all, I think you should go to a search engine, type in OC bio sheet. From there, you will get a link of blank OC bio sheets. Take one of those, copy, paste it onto a thing where you can edit it, and fill it out. Because you're missing a lot here. I mean, yeah, you give name, age, height, weight, and then a summary. That's about it. You do not give his likes, dislikes, strengths, weaknesses. You don't give any types of flaws. You don't give his, you don't really give his gender. I mean, I know that's not, like, necessary, but, I mean, you know, there's so many, cross-dressers or, genderless, gender fluid type characters now that, I mean, you know, you never know. You need to go and find something and fill it out because it's a good template, and I use it, and they get a lot out of you. And if you need a link, I'll gladly give you a link. I'll leave one in the description, maybe, if I can go find it somewhere. I'll leave you a link in the description so that you have a right away access to one. And that goes for anyone. Like, I think that, you know, bio sheets, not having to fill out your own is a lot easier because it's all information right there. All you have to do is fill it out. And they actually do, a lot of times, kind of poke at your brain, and they make you think, because you're like, well, you know, what would my character do? What would my character like? What wouldn't my character like? And it kind of opens up a whole new perception towards that OC. And it makes you not only closer to them, but it makes them better. But yeah, I feel like you should go do that because that would help tremendously, I think, in my opinion. Clothing style hoodies. That explains nothing, hun. That really doesn't. And I'm so sorry if I'm sounding mean or sound like I'm just, you know, just throwing mean stuff on you. I'm just really trying to help. And I really do think these OCs are interesting. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm not saying that they're not good. I'm genuinely into them. It's just, there's not enough to go off of. But you say hoodies. That's it. That's not really a clothing style. That's what he likes. That doesn't explain if he likes jeans, shorts, capris, Bermuda shorts, t-shirts, long sleeves, short sleeves, vests, ties, suits, swimsuits, none of that. That doesn't explain anything that he likes other than just hoodies. So I just picture some guy with no pants on running around in a hoodie. Like, you can't see me, I'm in a hoodie. And I know that that's not how he is, because I can see in his, you know, his reference sheet that he's actually very interesting looking, and I like his appearance. I like the colors. They look good together. But I feel like you should kind of express that, because his clothing style, he looks like he kind of has like a vest with a hood on it. And then he's got kind of like a mid-sleeved shirt on, and then plaid pants. And then in another picture, he's got the hoodie, the kind of jacket. It's kind of a nice jacket, though. And then he's got his plaid tie and then like a button-up shirt underneath, it looks like. So just elaborate a bit more clearly on like what he wears in his bio. Other than that, I think he's got a lot of potential. I'm not, you know, and I mean this storyline, because so far it does sound interesting, because it's like a boy got too curious, he released this horrible virus into the world, and now he has to try and stop it. I mean, you know, it's pretty heavy stuff. So I'll leave that one alone for now, and we'll go on to Aili. I think it's Aili. Oh, let us go. Let us go. Okay. Name. Aili Zaravia. Age 16. Height 165. Weight 50. Okay, again, right now. Name needs parentheses with how to pronounce it because I'm pretty sure I butchered her name. Her age is good. Her height needs to be centimeters, inches, feet, whatever this is. Her weight is not physically possible. Again, I could see her more 120, 115, maybe. Like, depending on her height. But, again, you need to elaborate. She can't be 50 pounds unless she's a human creature, because if she's not, then she would be an anorexic, and that is extremely unhealthy. Again, don't take that as offensively. I know I kind of say something matter-of-factly, but it's like, I said this all earlier, so I'm just kind of like, meh. Yeah. Okay, childhood. Okay, so summary. Blah, 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 so much reading. A childhood friend of Poshkola, Aili is the first daughter of the famous Zaravia family. She is exceptionally intelligent and is very pretty. Thus, she is quite a popular person in school. Aili is a very practical person. There are few things that interest her, yet she never gives off the air of being bored. Quick-witted, speak her mind, and intentionally or unintentionally, her words sometimes are quite sharp. Her icy demeanor wards off people, as most folks don't. I can't grammar. Most folks aren't brave enough to get too friendly with her, but she gives good advice when asked. When they were in third year of elementary, Poshkola suddenly moved away from the town, and the two had never seen each other since then. But at the second year of junior high, a new transfer student was present in the class next to Aili's, and although his looks had changed, Aili eventually recognized him as the Poshkola she much liked back then, and from then on starts to get friendly with him again. The only one who knows about Poshkola's secrets probably is Aili alone, and she tries to understand when... I'm sorry. I'm like, my brain just keeps stalling. And she tries to understand when Poshkola tells her not to hang with him too often in school. She claims to enjoy playing chess and cards with him, an excuse to hang out with him. Actually, she just enjoys being with Poshkola. She's also the only one who noticed Poshkola's disappearing presence, and thus she tries to keep his existence in reality, even as he struggles away. When Poshkola was in panic of releasing Arya, he asked her for help, and ever since the two of them have been working together in solving the worldwide problem before it's too late. Plus feature. Her eyes are like the ocean, the hue degrading dramatically from aquamarine to deep blue. It's very alluring to look at. Okay. Let's see. How did her and Poshkola meet? I want to know that. How did they meet? Why did they become friends? Are they in any way rivals? Because if Aili is actually a very smart person, would that mean that maybe her part of her keeping Poshkola alive, like still existence and stuff, could she be like a friendly rival of his? Like she likes to poke at him to kind of bring out the intelligence that he tries so hard to hide. You didn't put any clothing reference to her. You didn't put you don't have any clothing things at the bottom. I mean, her clothes, of course, her appearance is up here in the image, but you didn't put, like, if she has any special preferences. Um, if she's a famous daughter, does she, like, does she have any type of special and or formal wear? Like, I know I have NOC whose parents try to keep up this appearance that they're such wonderful people, even though their whole family was a lie. But they constantly made their daughter dress really, really, really nice in order to give off that appearance that they were just such great and almighty people. And so maybe Aili has something like that because her family would most likely have formal occasions in which Aili would have to attend. So maybe give her another clothing design where it would be very formal. Honestly, you don't give much backstory to Aili. I mean, she literally, you said they kind of complete each other, but it seems like Aili literally just revolves around Poshkola. While Poshkola kind of lives more on his own, it seems like Aili is just sincerely based to be Poshkola's love interest. And while there's nothing wrong with that, it's just, she should have her own backstory. So maybe kind of describe what happened to her when he was gone. Maybe when he left, that was why she became a much colder person. Because, I mean, most people don't have an icy demeanor just out of nowhere. I mean, some do, but more often than not, you're kind of formed into that type of demeanor and that kind of attitude. So what may have caused her to close off was perhaps because she was a famous because she was a famous person, maybe people used her for that, and maybe she began to close herself off from people, and then she didn't want anything to do with anyone. I mean, I'm just throwing out ideas. I'm not saying, like, you have to listen to me. I'm the expert here. Like, I'm a noob. Like, half of my OCs aren't even human, and they're all part of a really lame fandom. So I can't talk. All my OCs are lame and silly. But I don't know. I feel like what you need to do first is you need to give a much more fleshed out bio. You need to go find a bio sheet and really sit down and take your time and work out their full-on bios. Because summaries are great, but the summary doesn't really summarize anything. Your summary is just kind of a big clash of things about her that you just kind of wanted to toss in, And that goes for both of them. I love their designs, and I love your art, and I do love these OCs. I think they sound really interesting, and I'm really curious to know more about, like, the disease and what's going on with them and how this all started. It's just, there's nothing to go off of right now. It's just kind of like chucked in your face. And like I said, if you have more behind it, and I just, you didn't give it to me, then, but so far none of this really makes sense because there's nothing behind it. So, that's really all the advice I can give. Work on, remember to explain names, like how to pronounce them. Elaborate weight and height. Please change her weight. That is impossibly light, and that's really unhealthy. And I don't know if you think it's cute or, but it's not. I'm sorry, it's really not. Like, when I see that, I think of, like, skin and bones, and it's nasty, and it's really not attractive, and it's not cute. You want to make her light, make her like 115, 120 pounds. That's not as heavy as it sounds. It really isn't. I can pick up my friend and she's heavier than I am, and I'm close to 120. So, I mean, it's not that heavy. And especially if she's a shorter character, because most of the weight is, it's not as noticeable for some reason in shorter people. I don't know why that is. Like, you can't feel it as much when you pick them up. And I mean, anime, you don't have to be strong to pick people up. So, I mean, Same thing for Pocopion. Please work on his weight. That's, again, not physically possible. And his height. Please. Elaborate more on the bio. Elaborate on clothes. I love their designs. They're so cute. Oh my gosh. I think they would be an adorable couple. They really would be. I really think that's all I can give you right now. I'm so sorry. I really hope that that helps you in some way. And I really hope this doesn't come off as me being snobby or mean or anything like that, because that's not how I'm trying to sound. I'm sorry if my voice keeps cracking. I'm trying to be quiet. And for some reason, my voice goes into a deep rumble. Okay, well, thank you for letting me review your OCs. I can't wait to see where you go with them. I can't wait to read more about them. I can't wait to see where they go from here. And with that said, I believe I'm done. So, have a great day, night, afternoon, whatever it is for you guys. I love all of you. And thank you for listening to this review. Kuroku out.